This has been a very strange matric year for students, I think parents too. The strangest academic year for everyone. But there's a little piece of good history that's being made this month in the Eastern Cape. A group of learners are going to write their matric preliminary exams in Xhosa. They'll be the first group of students in that province who are able to write their matric exams in their mother tongue. Naledi Mbude is the DDG in the Eastern Cape Department of Education. Naledi, good afternoon to you. How many learners have decided to write their exams in Xhosa?
Afternoon, Stephen. Do you want to repeat your question, please?
How many learners have decided to write their exams in Xhosa?
We are offering this opportunity to 61,464 learners. They will make a decision when they receive the bilingual examinations in both languages, and then they will make the determination which language they want to use.
Have they been studying in their home language for the 12 years?
The project that we've had in the Eastern Cape now for the past about 10 years now is that the learners who started in grade 4 with the program are now in grade 12. Now, instead of offering only to them, we are offering them the opportunity of all the quintiles 1, quintile 2, quintile 3 schools, the opportunity of bilingual exam so that they can choose as they come to the exam.
Okay, so they would actually have, I mean, do they choose before the exam or do they have the exam before them in both languages?
They have both of them in both languages.
I mean, that's the best outcome, I suppose. I mean, there's a lot of evidence about how learning in your mother tongue really helps you to learn better. Has anyone been able to do any studies yet in the Eastern Cape around that? I mean, are you finding that learners are actually doing better in their home language than they were in what I presume was English or perhaps Afrikaans?
That is the result of the pilot project that we did over a period of 6 years in Mvama, and we found empirically, with empirical evidence, that when we did that program for mathematics and science, their results came out much better, significantly much better than those who were only using English.
And the learning materials, I mean, for various reasons, there are thousands of textbooks around in English and actually in Afrikaans, not perhaps as many yet in Xhosa. Do you have the textbooks and all of the learning materials, or did you have to draw those up as you went?
We had to do that, and working with the Pan-South African Language Board, which is the oversight body for all language development in indigenous languages. We've done that with the various universities as well. All the various publishers nationally have assisted. There are some who have assisted us from the inception of the program, providing us with textbooks. So we can safely say that in the Eastern Cape, when learners have to choose textbooks, they have an opportunity up to grade 9. To choose between an English textbook or an IsiXhosa textbook. It's called the Mother Tongue-Based Bilingual Integration Program that we've been doing for the past 8 to 9 years.
All sorts of really important conversations here. I mean, the evidence that children learn better in their mother tongue is there. So, I mean, obviously we must do that. At the same time, I would say there's probably evidence that schools are the one institution in our society where proper integration happens. And I'm talking about people who grow up in households that speak different languages. Maybe when children go home, they go to school perhaps in English, but at home they're speaking in Venda, or they're speaking in Zulu, or they're speaking in English, or whatever it is. And at schools is where proper integration is happening. So it's quite a difficult balance in a way. I mean, you wouldn't want to stop that integration on the one side. At the same time, you want children to be able to study in the way that's best for them.
What is your question, Stephen?
Well, my question is around the balance here, that you want to look at mother tongue education, which is important, and at the same time, I imagine it might be dangerous to forget how important schools are to integration.
Why when we talk about integration, do we only speak about integration when it has to come to African language? Remember that Afrikaans kids and English home language children have mother tongue education, or is it only white kids who have the right and so-called colored kids who have mother tongue education? Every time this question comes to African languages, the same question is raised about integration. Mother tongue education is now an advantage only to the previously advantaged. So we must also understand that when it comes to African languages, it must be the same. So all we are asking is that children in the system who speak African languages have the same rights as Afrikaans and English home language speakers. It must not arise, this question, when only we have to do a mother tongue education for Africans.